The piercing wail of police sirens shattered the calm suburban afternoon as they raced straight toward my house. Linda, the overbearing HOA president, stood on my front lawn screaming into her phone with wild fury in her eyes. She demanded the officers arrest me immediately for the so-called illegal luxury car parked in my own driveway. I stepped outside feeling my heart pound but kept my face calm and my voice steady despite the chaos. This nightmare had started 6 months earlier when I moved into this quiet American suburb after landing a major promotion. As a 35-year-old software engineer, I had finally rewarded myself with a sleek black Mercedes that gleamed under every sunny sky. The car represented years of hard work and late nights, so I parked it proudly every single day without a second thought. But Linda spotted the luxury sedan the very first morning and her face twisted with instant jealous rage from across the street. She marched over the next day clutching her official HOA clipboard like it was a sword ready for battle. "Your flashy luxury car destroys our community aesthetic standards and must be removed at once," she snapped with pure contempt. I asked her politely for the exact bylaw it supposedly violated, but she just huffed and stormed away without answering. From that moment, the complaints flooded my mailbox week after week with increasingly ridiculous and invented reasons. One letter claimed the car was too shiny and reflective, causing dangerous glare for drivers on our quiet street. Another accused it of being parked at the wrong angle, ruining the perfect visual symmetry of the entire block. I responded to every notice with patience, attaching copies of the actual HOA rules that proved full compliance. Linda ignored every reasonable reply and instead started spreading vicious rumors through the neighborhood like poison. She whispered to anyone who would listen that my luxury car screamed drug money or other shady illegal activities. The gossip spread fast at block parties and through group chats, turning friendly neighbors into suspicious strangers overnight. Some people stopped waving entirely while others crossed the street to avoid even simple eye contact with me. The growing isolation stung deep because I had moved here hoping for the warm, friendly suburban life everyone dreams about. I took a deep breath each morning, refusing to let her petty power trip break my calm or my focus at work. To protect myself, I installed high-resolution security cameras covering the driveway door and yard with crystal-clear audio. The system captured every single encounter in perfect detail, giving me the evidence I would need later on. Linda's visits grew bolder as she pounded on my door at random hours with fresh threats and demands. One humid evening, her sharp knocking echoed through my house while I was cooking dinner in peaceful silence. "Remove that eyesore luxury car right now, or I will have it towed and you fined into oblivion," she yelled loudly. Her heavy perfume mixed with the scent of fresh-cut grass as her shrill voice carried across the neighboring yards. I opened the door and replied in a calm, measured tone that she had zero legal right to tow my personal property. She laughed with bitter sarcasm and spun on her heel, leaving behind a trail of pure resentment in the warm air. The situation exploded when she began calling the police with one false report after another about me and my car. Her first 911 call claimed the luxury sedan was stolen and that I was impersonating the real owner suspiciously. 2 officers arrived looking professional but left quickly after verifying my registration and ownership documents on the spot. Linda watched from her window across the street with visible fury as her plan failed to get me arrested. Undeterred, she filed a second false report the very next week, accusing me of running an illegal business from the garage. The police returned again but found nothing and quietly warned her about wasting department resources on nonsense claims. My frustration built like a slow fire with each pointless visit that disrupted my work and my hard-earned peace. I kept logging every incident with precise timestamps, adding the new police reports to my growing folder of proof. She then told neighbors I was a dangerous influence because of the luxury car and might be endangering local kids. Parents started pulling their children away from my yard where they once played freely and happily together. The warm summer breeze now carried the heavy scent of distrust instead of the usual barbecue smoke and laughter. I stayed composed through it all, refusing to give her the angry reaction she clearly wanted to see from me. The final breaking point happened during a heated confrontation right in front of my garage on a bright Tuesday afternoon. Linda lost control completely and screamed that she was inventing every violation just to punish me personally. "You think your luxury car makes you better than everyone, but I will destroy your reputation here," she raged at full volume. Her angry confession was recorded perfectly on my camera system with clear audio and unmistakable context for everyone. I compiled hours of footage plus all the false police reports into one airtight package that same evening. I sent the complete evidence to both the local police department and every member of the full HOA board immediately. The board called an emergency meeting for the end of the week, and I arrived early with my laptop fully prepared. Linda strutted in at first looking smug and confident in her usual position at the head of the table. But her expression crumbled the moment I started playing the recordings of her own voice admitting everything. Gasps filled the room as the other board members heard her confess to fabricating complaints and false reports out of spite. She tried desperately to interrupt and claim the videos were taken out of context, but the proof was undeniable. The board voted right there to remove her as president effective immediately and ban her from any future involvement. She was escorted out of the meeting in stunned, humiliated silence while the rest of us sat in relieved quiet. 2 days later the police returned to the neighborhood, but this time they walked straight to Linda's front door. She was out watering her perfect rose bushes when the officers approached with a warrant for her arrest in hand. Linda dropped her gardening hose in shock as they read her the rights and placed cold handcuffs on her wrists. "You cannot arrest me, I am the HOA president and I enforce the rules," she wailed in complete panic. The officers remained professional as they led her toward the patrol car while she continued protesting loudly. Neighbors stepped out onto their lawns and watched in stunned silence as the former queen of control was taken away. I stood on my own porch sipping fresh coffee, feeling a deep wave of satisfaction wash over me at last. My luxury car still gleamed proudly in the driveway, now completely free from any further harassment or threats. The new board was elected within a week, and they immediately focused on real community improvements instead of control. I waved to my neighbors again with genuine smiles and received warm, friendly waves right back without hesitation. The warm afternoon sun felt brighter and the scent of blooming flowers returned to our quiet suburban streets. Linda's dramatic downfall reminded everyone how quickly petty power can corrupt even the most ordinary neighborhood. I still chuckle sometimes when I see the empty spot where her official HOA president sign used to hang. The luxury car that triggered her total meltdown had ironically become the tool that brought her down for good. Peace finally settled over the entire neighborhood like a soft, comforting blanket after months of unnecessary tension. I enjoy every drive and every evening on my porch knowing I stood my ground with calm logic and solid evidence. In the end, the real rule-breaker was the woman who claimed to enforce all the rules with an iron fist. Life here feels like the suburban dream I originally moved for, and I would not change a single thing now.